What's happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. Today I have a double unboxing to do for you guys. Now, one of these items is not necessarily an EDC item. It is an item for the channel, and it is something that I have needed and wanted for quite a while because I plan on doing quite a bit of stuff outside of my little studio area here, and I really couldn't do that, at least not very well, without this right here. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is an lavalier mic that is wireless. I can basically plug and play with this thing. Plug it right into my phone is the idea, and then it does come with two, so that way someday when I get my fiance to come on, she will also have a mic. But I can also use this with my laptop. I can use this with my phone. So I am stoked to get this going and rolling. This one I really like because you can clip this and then it does have full rotation. I noticed on some of the lavalier mics, they were fixed in a certain position and you could not move it. So you can just kind of clip this however you see fit. So that's a huge plus. This wasn't a very expensive lavalier set. It was right in the middle, I would say. If someday I need something a little better, I will get one. But for the time being, I think this will work very well. It had very good ratings, and you guys will see that guy in future videos. Next up, we have another item from Amazon. Now, it took several days to get this here. So, and I'm not sure why it took so long. It took like 5 days to get here. And I'm not sure, you know, it was supposed to be here like 3 days ago. So I'm not sure why it took so long, but it did. So while we're hopping into this, if you like knife content, you are in the right spot. Hit the subscribe button down below the video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you here. Give the video a little thumbs up, and while you're down there, leave old GBALL a comment. Anything you would like. And if there's something you are interested in seeing, some sort of knife content, EDC content, anything, a battle video, top 5, top 10, best this, worst that, let me know. And I will write it down. I will write your username down, give you a shout out in the video when I do it. I started episode 1 with my most sentimental knives. I have several other ones that I am working on and a bunch more flowing in. So if there's something you are interested in me doing, leave it down in the comments of any video. The most recent video is best, and I will write it down, and I will write down who asked to see that video, and I will give you a shout out in the video, just so we can get some interaction, more interaction going on the channel. That is my goal with this whole thing. Plus, it kind of brings some freshness to the content. So after getting all that out of the way, we have a Civivi box, Civivi pouch, standard affair from Civivi. Gonna have your typical stickers from Civivi. They should print some new ones at this point in time, but you do get 2 stickers. You do get your COA warranty type card. You do get a nice cleaning cloth, which I like Civivi's cloths. I use the crap out of them. So you get all that, and then you get your knife. And the pouches are very nice. I have about 50 of them at this point, just Civivi ones. But they are very nice, and they don't really have much use outside of the knife being delivered, but sometimes you can come up with certain things to do with them. Kind of depends. So what we have here, guys, is a new model from Civivi. This is the Qubit, and I wasn't going to pick this up initially until I heard a couple of guys that I really trust say that it's a phenomenal knife. It's nice and thin and slicey. One of the main draws to it was you do get aluminum handles. You get a nice deep carry clip. Screws and clip are recessed there. All black hardware on this particular one. You can carry this guy left-handed, and that's a good thing because it is a button lock. So for the lefties, that will make this very nice. Little filler tab there that was black would have been a nice little touch, but it doesn't do a whole lot to the aesthetic. But I think a black filler tab there would have been a nice touch, but not necessary. The price on these is very reasonable. So let's give it a little ooh. So I'm a huge fan of this knife in the open position. It looks all right closed up. I'm not a huge fan of this here, but it didn't make or break my decision. I don't like it, but it didn't really deter me from it. And knowing Civivi and a lot of them companies over there, they turn this into a bottle opener. So you can pop some bottles with this if you are interested in doing that. Not something I would do. You would end up probably marring the finish up, if not denting it. It is aluminum. It's very tough stuff. But them bottle caps can wreak havoc on anodized aluminum or anodized anything. So that's up to the user. That's not something I will do with this. I have tons of multi-tools everywhere. There would be no sense in me using this for a bottle opener. So I can say right off the get-go, this has some of the best spring detent that I have felt on a button lock. That is very good. Very good. Nice and stout. Typically, they've gotten better over the last year or so with the spring tension and using heavier duty springs on these guys to give the lock a little bit more rigidity, and in turn that gives the deployment a little boost as well. You can thumb flick this guy out, reverse flick this guy out. You are getting 14C, I believe. Yep, 14C 28N. You can see there, close to the tang, which is a great mid-tier steel. I love this blade shape. It really reminds me of, not 100%, but in a way, it reminds me of the nimble blade shape. Slightly. Close. I mean, it really is close. A lot closer than I thought. It looked similar. Obviously, you don't have the hole, but if you were to fill that hole, that is very similar. So, you know, that looks really good, actually. Very close. So you have a nimble looking blade shape, standard drop point, but it's very nimbly looking. With, if they would have extended this a little bit to make it a full finger choil, it would really, really look like it. Everything from Civivi, especially over the last 2 years, guys, has, you know, it's been phenomenal. They do a exceptional job with their knives, from We all the way down to Sencut. Sencut puts out some of the best budget knives on the market, and they get overlooked a lot because they've been doing it for so long, more recent. Over the last 2 years or so, 3 years, they've been doing it. And I was talking with a buddy of mine, and 10 years ago, you couldn't get a $40 or $50 knife, or even maybe a $60 knife that was worth a crap. It would have a horrible detent, horrible blade steel. It was just junk in comparison to what we're getting nowadays. It is absolutely insane how far we've come in 10 years. If we go all the way back like 15 years ago, it is insane, because some of the $60, $70, $80 knives that I remember were like SOG and Gerber knives and knives in that kind of section, and they were not anywhere close to the fit and finish of these, the smoothness around the pivot, the materials. There's no comparison from 10 to 15 years ago to now. And people kind of overlook Civivi and Kaiser and Qubit and QSP and all these companies that are putting out amazing, more affordable knives. I want to say, budget knives, yeah, but more affordable knives. They're not necessarily budget knives. I mean, for some people, that's the most they want to spend. So it's not a budget knife to them. Yeah, it's a more affordable knife in a sense. But what you are getting for your money these days, just kind of, if you sit back and really think about it, especially if you had bought even a couple knives 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you picked some up at your Gander Mountain or Walmart or whatever, Cabela's, they are not anywhere close to some of the budget knives that are out nowadays. I mean, you're getting aluminums and micartas and very well done G10 and great steel choices that get screaming sharp. They have good corrosion resistance. They're tough. I mean, now with the exception of some of them like 3CR, 5CR, 8CR, knives in that line of the spectrum, yes, they were easier to sharpen if they had a decent heat treat. But I would take this 100 times out of 100 over, an old Gerber or SOG. I still have some knives from back then, and they are just, they don't even come close to what we have now. And it's just an awesome thing to see and be a part of. I love seeing it. Civivi's doing an exceptional job. They continue to be inventive and create new things. Yeah, some of their knives do look, very atypical sometimes, but they do step outside the box and do some pretty cool stuff sometimes. And this is an awesome little mid-size slicer. I mean, look how slicey that blade. That thing is coming down ultra thin. Why don't we go ahead and get a quick... So you're looking at like 2 9/16 for cutting edge, and then 3 inches for your total blade length, and then you're coming down around 7 1/8. And while I have these sitting here, we'll do a full overview of this, guys, and we'll do a review. Wow. And I'm not even all the way down on the tip. That's coming down around 12 thousandths. I bet that's 10, maybe even a little less. That is insane. So you are going to have an ultimate slicer here in this guy. Like I said, we will do a full overview review coming up in the future. Maybe we'll do a disassembly of this guy as well. That'll do it for this one, guys. If you're still here, thank you. I love you. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. I would love to have you here. Give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.